Hey, I'm Angel. This is my third day in a row making a video, and I'm excited about that. I've really been trying to work on my consistency to things that my endeavors, things that I'm doing, and so I've just been excited. I'm trying to just keep going with this, keep going with like the conversations as they come up for me, and just the themes like that my day to day come with. Um, the last two videos, I talked about mental health. I talked about feeling overactive nervous system, like nervous system dysregulation, and how that also affects like being around others. And now today, I was thinking about more like cultivating joy. I've heard the term like many times. I've heard like people describing other people that way, and I could understand it, but I didn't always know like exactly what it looked like or meant for my life. Um, I think it's like so unique. Like it's such like a unique like signature, like things that kind of like uplift us or make us feel like a little bit lighter in any situation. And sometimes it changes. Like sometimes there are things that will cheer me up a little bit one day, and then like another day, like it's not like working the same. Um, it's like my third or fourth day going on being sick, and I really started like making these videos while I was sick because I feel like having physical ailments, physical setbacks can really affect like our mental and emotional health also. The first like day or so like being sick, I was really like feeling a kind of like panic. Like I just felt like I didn't have time to be sick. Like I just felt like I just I just wasn't giving myself like permission to really be sick. I just was trying to fight it in a way. And now I'm trying to reframe it thinking like, being sick, I get to rest. Resting is restorative, it's restoration. It means that I can reset in a way as I recover. And I was able to go for a little walk today. I went outside, like I got a little sun, and like it felt good. And as I was walking, I was really thinking about conscious awareness and how being able to bring my attention to my surroundings and like being consciously aware of the things that like I'm interacting with, the things that I'm seeing can help take me out of my head where I can be more present and I'm not thinking about the past or having like any worry or like projection into the future. I've heard like a lot about just like like the power of like being in the present moment, and I really do feel like it's so important in for me in being able to like heal and recover and process, because it means that I can have a little bit of space between what I had gone through in the past or like what the future may hold, and be able to just observe the present moment. And in that space there's like a lot of possibility. There's a lot of it's like uncertainty, but not in the negative like uncertainty, like you don't know what's going to happen. Like I feel like I have lived a lot of life in that space of uncertainty, and that kind of created a lot of like nervous system dysregulation. And now what I'm trying to do is like really create moments where I can have just an awareness of things as they are and also things as they're becoming. Um, Again, like this stuff is like kind of like vague, and as I'm talking more, like I'm just refining it, like getting into more detail of what I mean. So, um, I have a like an observation, I guess. The other day, like I pulled my phone out of my pocket, and usually, like I'm just like it's just a phone, like I'm not thinking of it beyond like it's just a normal thing. And for some reason, when I pulled it out of my pocket, I was like, whoa, like I have this like mini computer. Like, I don't know, like something about it just kind of like looked different to me. And it was like I was really acknowledging, like, this is something that this is a tool. Like, I can utilize this. This is something that, like, I'm grateful for. There's been a lot of times where, like, maybe I didn't have a working phone, or like my phone, I didn't have a phone, or just like different scenarios where like I was able to like bring gratitude to something that seems so normal and simple now, but I've had times where like it was not a given. And even being able to like record this right now, like I'm recording on a laptop, and I went about like 2 years not having a laptop, and I really wanted one. And during that time, I would go to the library, I would like use the computers at the library, and sometimes I would be like really grateful for the library computers. Other times I would just be kind of like upset, like asking, like, why can't I just have this thing? Like other people have this thing. And I've talked about like the comparative mind a little bit too. Um, so bringing it back, why I'm bringing this up, when like when I've been in situations that I felt like I had very little autonomy or very little choice over, or I just felt like I didn't have like the resources or things that like I needed, or far from the things that I wanted, being able to have these like moments of like clarity, of like just calmness, made it like an opening in my mindset that made me be able to like see other options, like other opportunities, or just like even like being able to feel like okay for, even if it was just like 5 minutes. It's like being under chronic stress can have like so much effect, like not just on like mental and emotional well-being, but like the physical body too. So there were times where like I would be in these states, and I would like watch videos, and instead of like them helping me, it would really just kind of like upset me more. I would just kind of be like, well, like, I want to attract something, or like I want to manifest something, but like how do I feel it when like I'm not like really like embodying that feeling? It's like I felt like I was even like fighting myself, like through through trying to like have ease. And I think like being able to have consistent reminders like really helped me, just trying to make it so that a lot of the information that I was taking in, a lot of the things that I was interacting with, were just kind of reinforcing like these ideas of like being able to take moments of pause, being able to breathe through something and like notice when I'm going to have a feeling, and like instead of jumping to like how I'm going to react to that, trying to just like acknowledge the feeling. It's difficult. Like I'm going to keep saying it, like it's a lot easier said than done. But there has to be like a moment where we pull ourselves back in. We are able to like ground ourselves. And I think it's like the same thing that keeps us from like doing things that, we we would regret, or like doing things that like we know like aren't good for us. Like sometimes we do the thing anyway, you know, sometimes like we don't have that like internal strength in the moment, and like I'm just trying to like find ways to be able to like bring it back and see like, okay, like this experience, like this situation is not all that there is. Like it's not like the entire reality. It's not like the only option. It's not like the only situation. And what are some other possibilities? Is there a space that I can go to just kind of like rest for a moment? Is there something that I could do to just like bring me back to like my breathing? Is there something I can just like look at for a while, or like how to just feel like a little bit more like centered in the body, so that my mind, like my emotions aren't just kind of like running it, you know? um that being said too, I think that like the way that we cultivate joy, it's like for me, I'm constantly trying to like find things that like bring me like a sense of joy. And I've recently started playing music. Like I started like just getting into playing it, and I didn't have a guitar before. Now like I have an acoustic guitar, and even before I didn't have a guitar, I thought like, okay, well the first step is like I could sing. I could be able to like just like make melodies like with my voice, like with my body, you know, like um and I think like the same is true for art. Like if someone is interested in art, even if you have no materials, even if you don't even have like a paper and pencil, like the first thing you could do is to like train your eyes, like train your way of observing things, of understanding light. And I think that this applies to like so many different things. Like maybe we aren't where we want to be yet, but we can do all the steps up until that point. um, and it can be like a frustrating process sometimes. We always talk about like, you know, I'm always going to be like the general we, um, online people, you know, like things that we hear, just talking about things that like I hear talking about are like enjoy the process. I'm like sometimes like I don't enjoy the process, and that's okay too. And when I don't enjoy the process, how do I like come back to myself, take a break, like do something small to be able to have that momentum again? Because if I have one positive experience, then like that can also be like a domino effect, that can also like compile onto each other. Just like having consistent like negative emotions, like that can also compile onto each other. It's like it only takes like a few things to redirect that energy and like refocus those feelings of um just like anxiety or negativity into, okay, like there may be more possibilities, there may be more options. um it's not an easy task by any means, but it is something that I do think that anyone can do. It just takes a little bit of, I talked in like the last video, like self inquiry, just kind of like being like, okay, will this lead me a little bit closer to feeling like maybe I could smile a little bit? Maybe this will make me feel good for like just a second. Or is this other situation going to make me feel like, oh, like that's going to be draining to me? I already know this. Being really honest, and then not feeling like fearful of what the outcome is if you choose one thing or the other. Just kind of having that type of like trust that, okay, I chose this and there will be more. And I feel like that's part of having like an abundant mindset too, is like, okay, like it's not just about like money and resources, it's also about like time. It's also about just like feeling like I can have more easeful moments. I can have um like more long lasting relationships. There are things that I can like there's still a way to like turn around, like as long as like we're still here, as long as we still have a chance, like there's like a chance to just like, you know, wake up, like we're still in it, you know, we're still like able to have the opportunity to keep finding things that do make us feel better, and just trying to really like focus on that and discover new things that are like helping to open that up and just feel like, okay, maybe I'm interested in this one area. The more I go into it, the more I can have a kind of like flow and like focus into an area, a subject, something that interests me without feeling like I'm so like overwhelmed like by either the past experiences or what the future holds. Um so yeah, I'm going to continue having these videos, making these videos. I want to just keep having these conversations like as they come up in my life. I'm on this journey. I have ups and downs, and I'm just really trying to have like a more grounded, like more peaceful way of being that that feels like there's possibility. And yeah, and I hope that like people share. I want to hear what other people like feel about this, and like, you know, just being able to like relate on these things. Like I feel like sometimes it's very difficult to talk about this kind of stuff and like feel like anyone really understands like what you're going through like in the moment. Like sometimes like you could be feeling these like hard feelings, maybe someone does know what that feels like, but because they're not in that state right now, they can't like relate in the same way or like have like a type of empathy in the same way. um yeah, I hope that you have a great day. It was like, you know, it was good chatting. I really want to just hear from people and like see what like people are doing. Um yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep making videos until I guess until I don't feel like it. So yeah, I hope that you are feeling good and stay chill. So talk to you soon.